Here we go. And we have this
This
situation.
pissed me off so much.
This
I
made me
hate this.
so angry too. I hate this scene. I hate this so much. I wanted to do rage video about everything in this episode, but I didn't because I just don't find myself caring that much about any of these people.
Mm,
But this
yeah,
scene,
that's
yeah, have at it first.
all right. Perfect. Well, as soon as the scene started, I kind of knew it was going to go. They wanted to make a mirror between the Emma situation, which doesn't make sense because Damon wasn't really involved in that, or they didn't. At least they could have tied it in with like the air for a day bit with the child like making the same decision, the same thing happening, and he gets some sympathy for his brother. But they don't go that direction at all, and so there's no reason to mirror those scenes whatsoever beyond the you got a 50-50 chance.
Or
And
like, no, a man is going to decide what happens to his
mhm.
wife. That's
And Damon doesn't actually make a decision, so that's not saying what you think they think it's saying. But and then like the head midwife guy comes over and is like, yeah, gives him the same offer, like, yeah, we can't get the baby out. The mom is dead. We can try to save the baby through C-section, but that's like our only option. It's the baby. A baby might have a shot, or they're both dead, kind of situation. That's a
yeah.
no-brainer. That's one option.
I know, and I love
The
how it's always for these in these people's mind, it's always a decision the father has to make. And I said this with Pips the very first time I watched this episode. How much more impactful would the Emma death scene been if it would have been a decision they both made and Emma very courageously said, save the child, and then they give the child to
yes,
Viserys and the child dies. Now,
emotional.
just so
Yeah.
people know what happens in the books, she actually gives birth to the child, and this is kind of important for this story and kind of establishes that despite what the TV show says, the Velaryons are actually blood of the dragon. She has one of those deformed kind of incest
Hmm.
dragon babies that doesn't survive, and then she knows she's dying. And Damon is very upset about this, and she just wants to go ride her dragon one more time because she loves flying. So she like starts walking out, and by the time she gets to the door, she actually dies and before she can get to the dragon. And it is really sad because Damon is
That's
upset
so
and is
much more
holding her.
compelling.
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
he carries her out. That's gold. Like,
I
I'm okay
know.
with adaptations going away from the source material as long as it's of commiserate value. They took
This
gold and turned it
isn't.
into crap.
This is
Like,
like, I'm
imagine.
not gonna die in fucking childbirth because I'm a dragon rider. I'm gonna die like a dragon rider. So she goes up to the dragon and commands the dragon to kill her with dragon's fire. And that is so stupid.
Well,
It's
she
like,
kills the baby.
I
She
know, what
straight
if
up,
the
it's like,
kid
oh,
survived? Who
if I'm gonna
knows?
die, then screw this kid.
I just,
Like, it would have been so beautiful if she's like, she's dying just like you're saying. The baby's already gone. She whispers to Damon, he's like, don't let me go out like this. And he
or I
knows
want
her
to see
well
the
enough to.
dragon one more time. Take me
Well,
out to see the dragon. It's like, show that these people care about each other. Show
yeah,
that marriage is
yeah.
more than just a burden and childbearing is
Hmm.
a death sentence. I'm so sick of
Right.
it in this
Well,
show.
I think it would have done really good for their character if she just said like, "Hey, don't let me die like this." But he knows her well enough to know what she actually wants, and then like he has to carry her out to the dragon. And I think it would have been a little bit better if she'd been able to fly, and then like he had to burn her afterwards. Like that moment of just him
Yeah.
looking across at her dragon and see the life leave her eyes, but she's still smiling. Like that's
Yeah.
emotionally compelling. Versus, oh,
Where'd it
the
go?
baby might live, but you're dead either way. Well, screw that. I'm going outside to burn us both. And how did she waddle in the middle of
I
labor
know.
past
That's
all
another
those
thing. It's
midwives?
like
Midwives,
somebody
guards, Damon? Who
somebody
stopped her?
in that situation where you're like your baby is stuck in breach or whatever, it's like you would have been laboring for hours. You're not going to have the strength to do that. I'm just so sick. And it's women who are doing this. Every episode, it's got like some women writer, a women director, and it's like, we have to show you what women are. I'm starting to think these people don't actually know. They're so anti family. I'm like, do they even have kids? Do they even know what it's like?
Doubt it. I mean, the same thing with Rhaenyra just dripping blood as she walked. Like,
Yeah, it's just, it's so silly. And it's like that, if kids are the important thing that they want people to have in this world, then why risk the baby by immediately going for a walk or something like that? Like, it's silly.
yeah. And what made this even worse, like if she was portrayed to be a morally corrupt character, all right, cool. She makes a morally reprehensible decision. cool. That's justified, but she's portrayed as a morally upright person in these last two episodes, especially as a good person. So it's contradictory. And Damon does a lot in that scene, though. His reaction to her death is compelling. I have to
Yeah,
give him
and I
that.
think Matt Smith for being a really good character and be able to carry
Mhm.
off this like kind of bad scene. Let's just leave it at that. He has been
So,
it's been like a great to see him in this role because I
mhm,
didn't know him from Doctor Who. I know him from watching The
mhm,
Crown and some other movies that he's
mhm.
been in. So I knew that he would
He's
do well for
great.
this character, even though I don't think
Mhm.
he physically looks like Damon, but that's okay. He sold me on it.
Oh, you need to watch Last Night in Soho. That's his best movie. Not his best show, but his best movie.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. But anyway, so we get